Okay, so let's do the new negative zone, Harbinger, Chapter 2. And this is going to be our primary source of negative zone orb fragments. Now, they did adjust the order. It's mostly the same as it was before, but the difference is they've changed the order of the orbs a bit, of the stages a bit. Now, one thing I do recommend now is if you don't have Hit Monkey as a striker, change him to a striker, even if it's just for this event, because that if you can land, you can basically double stun a character with this. So that is something I highly recommend if you're running this. Also, with the considering we've got the last of the Thunderbolts team coming out, that'll give you some extra options for this. Especially since you have an even a greater incentive than usual to spend power core. So, see that double stun there? That's why you want Hit Monkey as a striker. Get rid of at least one of these. Yeah, now focus on. Looks like he's still going to pop off. But you can tank that usually. It's just Shang-Chi's, he hits your speed, so that can be a bit annoying. But as long as you have the maxed out for the game, then you can definitely manage. Oh, hey, G. I don't know. Yeah, well, they're owned by the same conglomerate. It's Disney. They love, how much they love their synergy. By the way, welcome, G. Sorry I couldn't catch your Doom stream. I got back from the gym and had my dinner. So, and this is actually a pretty big night for. This is Chapter 2 of the Harbinger event. So I'll try to catch your next stream, but right now I've got another Harbinger event to get through. I've got maybe I'll see if I can get to Alliance War later tonight, but kind of depends. All right, Node 1 is down. By the way, before I forget, if you haven't checked out my good friend Agent G's stream, please do so. Please subscribe to him. Please follow him. I've known him for over 20 years, if you can believe that. We're old. Great friend, great streamer. Yeah, because we started chatting when we were in college. Well, at least when I was in college. That feels like a freaking lifetime ago. A lot has changed. The world has gotten a lot worse, but we've endured. Yeah, this is where you definitely want to have Daredevil as modern Daredevil as a fortifier. You need him to be tanky if you want to get through this. Yep. Those were some interesting times. The world was a different place. In some ways better, in some ways worse. Let's take out Pim because he's a healer. All right, now let's see if I can get rid of that barrier. All right, it worked. Yeah. You gotta try to take out at least one of the gladiators, because if they start popping off together, then yeah, you're gonna have no buffs and you're gonna be in big trouble. Just make sure you get as many vulnerables as you can on your opponents, because that helps you increase the likelihoods that you'll get a stun. Okay, get this done. Actually, let's stun this version of this. Oh, I stunned, yeah, I stunned both of them? That's actually, I don't think I've ever succeeded in that before. Yeah. They didn't have any vulnerables, so I couldn't double stun them, but you don't want endgame Thanos active. You don't want Gore active either, because he negates the assists. Let's see if I can flip those buffs. All right, I flipped. Yeah, I flipped all of them. This is why I really like Sable. She's probably the best character on this Vigilante team. There was a rumor for a while that Sable might be in the next Spider-Man movie, but I think it's more likely it'll be Black Cat. Okay, so this should be, yeah. Hank Pym's just a support character. As long as you ability block him, he's pretty manageable. I know, yeah. I think there's some Marvel I think is concerned about Sony obscuring some of their characters. I mean, they saw what they did with Madam Web. They saw what they did with Kraven the Hunter. I don't think there's any trust whatsoever with with how Sony's going to handle any Spider-Man characters moving forward. So let's keep this going. By the way, I also want to mention, if you might have, for those who didn't read the blog post for this, even after you get both the first run and the timed run rewards, you can still get rewards by completing the nodes every day. So there is value in completing this this event daily. And if you have your vigilantes well built, you should be able to handle it. Oops, wrong button. Let's yeah, Medusa and the Ancient One, they are tricky, but you also don't want to deal with Quicksilver. You don't want him popping off. Yeah. Let's get some more vulnerables. Ancient One's stunned for another turn, so don't worry. Not going to worry too much about her just yet. Let's focus on, got to get through those charges. All right, let's get some buffs. And every character you knock out, you do get ability energy, so take advantage of that. You usually need it for to make sure that Sable's got her ultimate ready for the next wave, whenever it drops. Yeah, don't want. Like I say, Medusa does hit pretty hard. So take her out when you get a chance, so that way you're set up for when this drops. Okay. And if you can't, you gotta stun. Super Skrull as quickly as you can. And see, this is why you have the striker for Hitmonkey. See, he's stunned twice. 2 stuns essentially neutralizes Super Skrull before he can wreck your team. And he will if you let him get going. Just get him out of the picture as quickly as possible so you can focus on the rest of the cleanup. Yeah. Black Knight is still tricky, but without his war buffs, he's manageable for the most part. This is also a good a time where I invested in diamonds for both Punisher and Elektra, and they have definitely paid off. I can tell a difference after they got their diamond upgrades. Now I did have to spend some promos, but definitely worth it. I think it was a worthwhile investment. Let's see. I'll just finish off. I've got. Okay, so this went about as well as it could have. Yeah, I double stunned Super Skrull, and he never even got a turn. So that's what you want to do with this node. You might have to reset it a few times to make sure you can control Super Skrull, but it can be done. This is where the difficulty starts to ramp up, and I imagine that once Hyperion's coming out, I think this Thursday. Now, maybe I'll try to do a stream for that, but kind of depends on a number of other things that are going on. Okay, so with this one, the character you want to control is Peggy Carter and Oath. Those are the two that can potentially ruin your day if you let them. You also don't want yeah. Okay, if you can stun at least one of the zombie juggernauts, that does make things easier. Alright, so let's see if I can take out Oath. Almost. Yeah. Yeah, Peggy Carter, her passive is a problem if you don't take her out quickly. Okay. Okay, now here's where it gets tricky because Kahori is yeah, oh crap, yeah. Damn it! I gotta start over. Yay. So bear with me. I may have to restart these a few times to get them right, but I'm going to make the effort because I've been able to one-shot pretty much all these nodes, including the boss node, at my current level. And if I can do it, any idiot can do it. I am not the expert strategist of a mobile gamer or a dorky dad, so yeah, I don't want to give the wrong impression to anyone that my skill level is more than it actually is. Yeah. Okay, stun. That was not a good sequence right there. So yeah, this flips. That was useful. crap, I got the exposed. That's what I was trying to avoid. Might have to restart this again if it goes sideways. Alright, let's increase the buffs, the debuffs. Oh crap, if Kahori drops, yep, I might not make this. Well, she's not tunneling on Daredevil, so as long as the Kahoris don't attack one character, you can get through them. Okay, so yeah, I survived that onslaught. Now I need to... Alright, let's hit one of the Kahoris. So that's one Kahori neutralized. Now, should be able to neutralize more. Kahoris are down. Both are stunned, so pretty good shape. Don't need to too much. So yeah, I did need to restart, but it's worth restarting so you don't have to spend any heals, because heals are limited now. All right. Another successful, and yeah, you do want those. I do want them training mats. This one can be tricky too, because you're going to have to survive an initial onslaught with Old Man Logan. And if your vigilante team is underpowered or you don't have the right ISO on them, you get wrecked pretty quickly here. So sometimes you got to be arrangement also matters here. Like you want to make sure that Daredevil is that modern Daredevil is not in the middle or back here. You want to make sure that he's on the edge. So if I lose one character, I'm going to have to restart. It's okay. See, he can tank it. That's another benefit of having a... crap, come on. Finally, I can take a turn. Alright, stole some health. Just take Panda Pool out of the equation for a moment. See if this can... There goes Old Man Logan. That's helpful. Let's get the heals. Can't do much with the trauma, but I can at least heal. Okay. Yeah, you don't want Penny going off. Alright, let's save the special for the next wave, which should be dropping any minute. It's all right. Can tank that. He's... Come on. Why can't I get a turn? Oh, sorry to hear that, man. Dude, why am I not getting a turn here? This makes no sense. Where are they getting all this speed bar? This better not be a glitch. Come on, where is this speed bar coming from? This should not be... What is happening? Why are they... Am I not getting a turn? There, finally. Alright. Let's get stealth for Electra. They usually stun Black Cat here. Ah, crap, she had immunity. Did not see that. That was... Hope that doesn't cost me anything. Yeah, because... Okay, that should take... That should, make things easier. Alright, stunned them both just like I'd hoped. The problem is, yeah, Peter B's got a big health pool, so you gotta... Crap. I have to use this. Oops. Alright. The extra energy there should help. Alright. On to the next node. Let's do this. 3 more. This Apocalypse node is usually not too difficult as long as you have Sable properly powered up and geared up. So that should get that's off to a good start. So yeah, this'll double stun Apocalypse, and this will get more vulnerables on everyone. More vulnerables you got, the better. See? Don't even have to deal with the Eternals. And now you got to deal with Weaver. Best way to deal with her is to make sure you get it disrupted and see if you can get into... Stun at least one of them. I'll stun this one. Okay. So yeah, it looked hard. It looks hard, but as long as you stun Apocalypse and you don't let him get going, this node's pretty easy. Yeah, this was also tricky. It's going to be you might be tempted to try to stun Shadow King. You can't. He's got too much resist. Your best bet is to at least just stun one of the Medusas, or both of them if you get lucky, and then tunnel on Shadow King, because he's got super high resistance. The best you can do is you just gotta focus on him. Get him down as quickly as you can. Once he's out, the rest of the team is pretty manageable. So, yeah, you want to at least get disrupt on him, although so he can't get into his stealth mode. All right, so hope this takes him out. Okay, good. He's out. Let's get their health down so that when the next wave drops, I'm ready. Yeah. My experience, you want to make sure you want to take out leader first because he gives a lot of buffs to Ares and Omega Red Phoenix. So make sure he's at least stunned. That should get you the advantage. All right, there goes. Let's and them down a little bit more. The bleed should take care of most of this. Extend the stun just in case. You don't want to have to deal with 2 Ares. That's too many. Yeah, so gotta hope the bleeds can work. Apply the vulnerables, get the bleeds. See if this is enough for the bleeds. Alright, yeah, the bleeds did their job. Okay. Okay, now here comes the boss node. Now the strategy for the boss node, and I've seen this in other streams. I've done this through playthroughs. The only way to one-shot this is you have to get defense down on the Odin. If you don't do that, then you got to restart. Now sometimes it takes a while to get it, but yeah, you literally cannot win this without getting you can't take that Odin out if he doesn't have defense down from the get-go. So I might have to restart this a whole bunch of times. So bear with me, folks. Okay, got the defense down. Let's see if this is good enough. You can't stun him. So you just have to get vulnerables on him as much as you can. You do need some RNG for this as well, so that is a yeah. Also having Electra, okay, that did not do nearly as much damage as I'd hoped. Okay. See if this is enough. The bleeds. I hope the bleeds can do the job. Ah, crap! Wasn't enough. Let's see if I can at least. Nope. Nope. Even though I got the defense down, I still couldn't do enough damage on Odin. So That's really frustrating. I hope they didn't buff him. I know some of my alliance mates completed this before I got on, so it is definitely possible to one-shot this. Yeah, it's just nope. Sorry, folks. It might take a while before I can land that defense down again. That was pretty lucky. But anyone who has other tips, feel free to share them in the chat so I can share them, because I'll try to post this on my YouTube channel later on. If hopefully people can use it as a guide. Okay, got the defense down. More vulnerables. Okay. That's more damage than last time. That's promising. Let's see if this is enough. Extend the bleeds. That should do it, actually. Okay, so Odin's down. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to one-shot this. I will use heals if I have to, but... So that was pretty lucky. So normally I don't get that lucky, but yeah, getting through this can be tricky too, because... Let's see if... Yeah, which you really want to... If you can, you want to stun the... Captain Britain, because otherwise he'll stun all your characters. Okay. All right, let's see if I can get Dormammu out of the picture before he starts doing his AoEs. He's stealth. These two Havocs have revives, but Electra can permakill, so revives don't really do much with against her. Let's see. Okay. I might actually one-shot this while I'm on stream. That's actually good luck. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I think I am going to one-shot this while I'm on stream. So yeah, I hope that this is perfect, because I will definitely post this on YouTube, and hopefully, since this is a 2-week event, people will get some use out of this. They will see what I did, and they'll be able to replicate it. All right. And with that, folks, that is getting through the Negative Zone Harbinger Chapter 2. And these are the rewards. Gold, training mats. It's nothing too outrageous, but hey, for mid and late game players, every bit counts, especially this. So yeah, thanks.